Alright, boys, whether you're a viewer of mine, you've watched my old video, or you're just someone looking up AFK journey beginner tips, I welcome you to this beginner's guide. I have played the game before. Obviously, I've made a video on this game before, and this is a contractual obligation. I am being paid to do this video, but I can't tell you guys right now there's a huge smile on my face because when you watch this video, the game is out and I will be playing this just by myself because I genuinely really like this game. Now, before we get into the actual game, I will be mentioning this a lot of times throughout the video. Right now, if you play from launch, which is why I recommend immediately just get on this game, give it a try. I promise you will like it. It's beautiful, it's super fun. You'll see in the beginner's guide. Go watch my old video if you want to see my full thoughts on the game as well. The game is giving away every single hero for free. You can get every single character in the game for free. You get 350 pulls as well, which is an insane amount for just playing the game. You want to be logging in every day. You get a bunch of rewards. You get free cosmetics even. Very, very worth it. I would suggest just don't waste any time. Get in there, log in every day. Again, they're telling you this here as well. Don't forget to log in daily to make sure you collect all those free heroes, including a select hero chest epic on the 7th day. So that's very important. So yeah, before we get into the actual super start beginner guide, I do recommend just play the game. Please, you get so much stuff on launch. Don't let it go to waste. Yeah, and with that, let's go to the character creation. Now I have the game open here. You can choose between male and female. Now obviously I'm not like there's no benefit to what you make here. I'll be picking a female character, and what I'm just gonna say is I usually don't really care too much about my character. I think it's more about the team that you use and the units you use. But in this game I had this connection with the character almost. I really cared about my own character. So I do suggest you actually spend some time really thinking about what you want your character to look like, and maybe even a name. You know, I got really roleplay with mine on my first account and on this one, and then on my real account I'm going to be playing by myself, for myself, not paid. I'll be doing the same thing. I'm going to be thinking about what character I want, what I really want in mind. But yeah, I'm going to meet you guys in the game. Now, when you actually get into the game, and I'm gonna assume you play on PC, you can walk around with WASD, by the way. F is gonna be your interaction key with most things, and I do suggest actually using it. It's a lot more comfy than using the mouse, I feel like, but that's up to you. Now, before you get into the game, one thing you want to make sure is you want to go to the graphics settings, and you want to scroll the way down, and at least have put the frame rate to unlimited. The game is so smooth and obviously beautiful. Now I'll say this a million times in this video, and I'm sorry, but it is just generally beautiful. But you want to have the FPS on unlimited, because no one wants to play on 30 FPS. 60 is fine if you just have a 60 Hz monitor. You don't waste any resources. But if you have a really high refresh margin like I do, then you want to be putting it on unlimited. Looks the nicest. Graphically, this game isn't super intense. So I'm gonna assume you can, most people can run this on max settings. But yeah, I would check the settings before you start. Obviously, you can link your account immediately. I can't do it right now on the client I'm on, but you want to be doing that as well. You get rewards for that. So that's as soon as you start, I would just suggest you check the settings. You make sure everything works well for you. Another tip I have, a lot of people don't know about, when you click this, it shows you the way, so you'd have to walk there. But what you could do, you can open the map, and if you click this, you click the little foot button, and then she auto walks there. So if you want to just chill out and you relax, then I would suggest you can do this. Okay, now if you're wondering how you can actually get your heroes, it's pretty straightforward. This button right here on the bottom right will lead you to the journey's gift, which you'll get your free multi immediately for the next few days, and multi every single day, free cosmetic as well. And then on the 7th day you get to pick anyone. Now unless you already have him, I'm gonna be straight up honest, this guy Igor is broken. From when I've used him, and I got to use practically everyone, this guy felt the most impressive to me. This guy is a warrior, so he's a damage dealer. He can take some hits as well, but his ability, he can nuke the entire field because he jumps onto an active tombstone, deals damage to nearby enemies. He does so much damage. He does so much damage. He's good front. He can take some hits. Obviously, he's not gonna be your main frontline, but he's really strong. I recommend him. This guy is really strong support as well, though. He fills up everyone's ult gauge. It's very nice. So up to you, but honestly, if you're asking me, this guy, if you go into Graveborn, is gonna be your best bet. You know, here's where you get everyone. You get everyone. Okay, you get one every time you hit one of these milestones, so keep logging on every day, and then you get one of these, and once you get them, they get removed from the pool, which means that eventually you're guaranteed all of them, even these ones, the Celestial Hypogean heroes, which is very special when it comes to team building. But yeah, very insane. They've told me this before. They told me this obviously in advance, like, oh, you're gonna get everything for free and everything. And I didn't believe them. I thought it'd be some catch. There's no catch. You legit just play the game, you log in every day, and over time you'll actually just give everyone for free, which is crazy to me. But yeah, that's currently the event. So again, like I said, if you're unsure about starting, I'd still just start right now. Trust me, I know you will enjoy the game, and then you can already start accumulating these login buffs already. So that's gonna be very nice for you. By the way, this guy too, Niru is insane. Okay, you'll get him on day 21 if you don't pull him before. I'm sure you'll pull him before, but Niru, you get this guy, you already have 2 Graveborn, and they're both broken. Okay, and you'll have Viperion on the way too. Viperion really strong as well. Yeah, if you can't tell, I really like the Graveborn. She is insane too, by the way. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna be doing like a mini tier list, not a real tier list, but I'm gonna tell you who I like at the end. Now, one thing that I'll say is very important is when you get past these camps, there's 2 chests here, and before this as well, but they forced to do these, so I'm sure you've done these already. While you explore the area and you see something like this, I would suggest to always do this, because the resources you encounter here, they're gonna be useful for you when you actually encounter them, right? As opposed to if you went back to get them in like 2 or 3 days. At that point, those resources probably won't help you that much. But if I do this wolf now, the resources I get will actually elevate my team at the current moment. I won't have to like, it won't just be a waste of resources. So whatever like little boost you can get at whatever given time, would always take them. So if you walk past this guy, just go fight him. Okay, very chill. They introduce new mechanics with them as well for most of them. So I would just go ahead, fight this guy. Again, positioning matters, by the way. We'll get to that later when I actually get to have some more units after I summon. But always take these resources, always take these free resources. I know sometimes we can be a bit lazy and we just walk past everything, but honestly, like, you'll just regret it. Honestly, you just regret it if you don't do it. Also, while you're progressing, don't be scared to just level up anything you want, because as you can see, if I click this and I change her, she's level 1 right now, boom, she's level 5. Because you're leveling up the slots, you're not leveling up the character. So even though you are leveling up the character, like so to speak, like if I click, I am leveling her up, it's leveling up that whole slot. Okay, like she's getting her own stats, but I'm leveling up these characters by themselves. And the very cool thing is you don't have to worry about like, oh, like who do I invest in early, whatever. I don't want to like waste my resources, because the lowest level of these 5 is going to be given to everyone here. So that if my lowest level right now is 10, that means everyone in my box is level 10. If I get everyone to 30, everyone's going to be 30, which is very nice. So you always want to keep them all equal, so you can have like just a like strong box. So you always can switch in. Like if you fight a stage where like, oh, I'll need Viperion, right, instead of Seth, then you you can just switch them out. Well, you wouldn't switch them out like this, but you can switch them out in battle, and then they'll still be level 10. They'll be the same strength. You're not sacrificing anything. And especially with equipment, it's all your heals are the same as at the same time as well, of the same class. So if I get tank equipment and I equip it, both I forgot his name, Lucius and also Chippy are going to be getting that gear, and any future tanks you have as well. So it's not like you're committing resources to one character, you're committing your resources to one class, which is very nice, right? It removes the whole FOMO aspect. It removes the whole like, oh, I'm short on resources, but like, oh, I pulled this new character, but I can't even use their team because I have to get all these other characters up. You'll always be fine. So never, like, don't be afraid, just level up whoever you want. It's a fantastic feature. I wish more games had it. That's very important to keep in mind. So because if I would go and fight this guy now, I actually get to change because I have more characters now, but I don't have to worry about them because I know they're leveled up. I know I can change them and position them however I want. So like I can replace Seth now with her because I've just pulled her. She's an archer. Also, you get bonuses for having the same faction, which is very important as well. You want to play around that. There's some like more Celestian Hypogeans, which can be considered as heroes from any faction when counting faction buffs, so they can like fill into anything, which is why they're so strong in the universal. But because I only have the, I forgot, Lightbringer, I believe. I only have Lightbringers on, yeah, Light Bearers on right now. They're all getting that buff, right? But obviously I don't want Chippy, I want this guy because he's a bit of a better frontline. And then that's it, right? That's really important to note. You always want to make sure that you get an infection bonus because 22% attack, 22% HP is very strong. You know, you get the buff depending on how many units you have. It tells you here right now. You can always check, right? Just make sure the icons match. Most of the time, units of the same faction will have big synergy. Like they'll have like the Graveborn ones. What they like to do is they like to heal a lot and CC their opponents. Light Sword is more of the really defensive one. The beasts are just really overwhelming, just like aggressiveness. They're all like bruiserish, from what I know. So you want to play around their strengths, their positioning strengths, whatever, and make sure you have the same factions for the teams you want to use. Okay, you can still mix and match if you can bring, maybe you have some 900 IQ team comp you thought of, it'll probably still work, right? If the kits match up, it'll probably still work, but just remember you do get stats from having the same faction as on your team. You'll also be introduced to AFK battles, which increase your AFK rewards. So the way this works is, as you can see, the little guys working here and killing stuff, you accumulate rewards by just existing. That's where the whole AFK thing comes from, right? It's an idle game, you accumulate rewards and gear resources by just existing, which is so super nice. It's really comfy, it doesn't put any stress on you. I really like that about this game and about these types of games in general, but in this game, I'm in love with this game, okay? And you collect the rewards, and you also have this instant button that you unlock later, which lets you get 2 hours worth of resources in 1 second, which is very nice. But to increase the rewards you get, you'll have to do AFK battles. Now, these are important. I would just do them whenever you can. Always challenge them, like literally whenever you can, because they will increase. They dictate how many resources you get, right? So you want to get as many as you can, as quickly as you can, right? So I would always suggest to do these. After 10, you unlock auto battle too. So you just click it and they'll go until they lose. Okay, so you think you have a really strong formation you haven't done in a while, you can click the auto battle and you'll just go crazy. Boom, you're done. Okay. Just have like a decent, just have decent positioning so that you actually win. But as you can see now, AFK challenge progress from like 0 to 1, and I'll get 50 more, 49 more dust, 10 more max level here. I get almost double of this. The gold goes up slightly, but almost double the books. Very nice, right? And you can keep going. You can go to the next one, stage 2. Same thing. You do it. You beat them. You're chilling, right? So you just want to make sure you have a strong formation. Get it up as high as you can, as early as possible, because I feel like getting it up the earlier is the better. Obviously later on it won't matter that much. Like later on you'll be like begging for 1 increase after like 2 weeks, because it'll just be so difficult. You'll be so high up on the end game already. Now once you get past the first 30 summons, you unlock the Vala banner. That's gonna be guaranteed in 40 recruits, which is very, very low amount of recruits. So it's gonna be fairly easy to get. Now if we look at Vala and what she does, you might look at her like this, but then you also get her like this, okay? Which, by the way, my god. But she's really good. She switches into her Sky Blaster mode, which is more of a, where she's ranged. She has a gun, and she stuns and just damages units. And she's really strong still in that form. But she can go into her sword mode, and in that sword mode, she'll be able to do even more damage and just wreck the entire battlefield. She is an assassin. She is an assassin, which is my favorite type of character in these types of games, because positioning wise they are really unique. Now, a lot of them will jump to the backline, focus the backline first, so there's a bunch of cool things you can do with it, play around a bunch of cool stuff as well. But Vala, if you ask me, should you summon, I would definitely recommend so. She's also a light bearer, which means that a lot of the starting characters you get that are also light bearers are gonna synergize with her very well, because you get the buff, the same faction buff. So that's I think she's really strong. She looks great in both outfits, and then obviously when she is in her Sky Blaster mode, when she's in her sword mode, she's just crazy. She is crazy. Okay, she was in the first beta. I could only look at her. I couldn't like really see her. Now I can actually like read the kits and everything. She does look insane, and I'm very excited to get her on when I play the actual game. I'm really excited to get her. And one last thing I can think of is really do try to progress as fast as you can, because there is all these really cool battle modes that you can do once you unlock them, and it'd just be a shame if you missed out on them and got to them a bit later. You do want to get the rewards as soon as possible, but again, there's no real FOMO. You can take your time with it. Everything is fine. I don't have them unlocked right now. Obviously, you'll have to complete AFK stage 16, which means you have to get a lot stronger to get that, which is why I think those early resources like that wolf I fought are really important as well. But just progress through the story, do everything as quick as you can. Think about the same faction bonus, read your abilities. Maybe you can think of a team where you summon her, because you use her instead of another light bearer, because what she does is she summons that guy, and that guy can act as a second frontline for you if you only have one good frontline, right? If your only frontline is Lucius, for example, and you don't want to use Chippy because, you know, let's be real, no one likes Chippy, okay? Then what you can do is you can use her, for example, and you can she can sort of substitute your second frontline. Same with like VAYNE. A lot of warriors can do the same thing, but Thing about the kits, a lot of characters, I feel like every character in this game has a use, which I know is very cliche, people say it all the time, but I think in this game especially, because of what you can do and the way the modes work, they do have to give every character a kit that works and actually does something, because there is a mode in which you can use characters, every character in the game, which is Honor Duel, which again, check out my first video, I talk about it more in detail there. And in that mode you do get every character, and they do have to work. The characters have to be good, which is why they do put care and emphasis into every single character. And you really feel it when you play. Every character is very unique from each other. Even if there's two assassins that are both just like the purple, the pink rarity, it's not epic. It's the whatever it is. I'm gonna call them 4 stars for myself, but it's the other ones, right? They're really strong. And one last thing is, you do want to go to your wish list and you want to go on characters you might not have. Okay, so I don't have Igor, I want him. Okay, I have her, I want this guy, I want these 2 guys. Okay, I really like these 2 guys, I want these guys. For this one, Neru is insane. I remember Neru being insane. She's insane too. This guy was insane too, right? Salazar, he was really insane, but I think I want dupes for her more, right? I remember her being insane. There's some new characters I don't know about as well, which is really nice. Seeing those, I'm not too familiar with the Mauler, Mauler faction, so I'm not too sure on who I would pick here. For Lightbearer, she is really insane. Timija is really insane. She's a really strong frontline. She stuns, she CCs, she moves around a bunch as well. Very useful to have. This guy is insane too, but I'm gonna assume most of you guys will have them already from the start. She seems really strong. Like a shotgun marksman, which is very nice. And Kasai is really good too, but you do already have her as a mage. But so if you want another mage, sure, if you want to replace her, but I feel like she does the job just fine. But so I would go for these 2, but you can go for her as well. And for the 4 stars, I would go for him and probably her. Vale is really strong too. She's a really strong support as well, but other than that, I would just stick with these 2, I think. And then yeah, and for Graveborn, these 2 I can definitely tell you I would recommend these 2. On those I'm not too sure. I know she's really strong. But again, you're gonna get everyone for free anyway, right? By just logging in, so you don't have to worry about it too much. You can vote up, you can rare up whoever you like after testing them, since you are gonna get everyone for free. But that's going to be from the beginner guide from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I might make more videos on this game, but we will see. I'm not too sure, but thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. Good job.